Heidi-ho, this is Bill, the snarky apologist. Got a question for you. What's your definition of hypocrisy?
What?
Well, we all may have a little different understanding of it, but the core meaning is right there, okay? When you hear somebody say, boy, what hypocrisy, we know what they're talking about. So here's the WatchTower with another proof of the extreme hypocrisy.
Yes, indeed.
Let's turn back the clock, because godly principles like honesty and integrity never go out of vogue. In an Awake article, July 22nd, 1964, under the heading of Finding the Facts, I found this. WatchTower advice in their Awake on how to do proper research. They'll say, here's what an encyclopedia is, here's the different types of encyclopedias, and here's how to do your best scholarly research, right? But we'll quickly see the advice they give is not the advice they take. They state here, further, if you are seeking information on a particular religion, it pays to get the official viewpoint of the religion involved. If you want to know about the Catholic viewpoint, consult the Catholic Encyclopedia. If you want to know about the Jewish history and customs, consult the Jewish Encyclopedia. Makes good sense, right? Did they follow it? No.
That's okay. That's okay.
Enter Exhibit A, the Should You Believe in a Trinity booklet. This is their heavy hitter in terms of downing the Trinity and making it look like it's not a biblical teaching and that no one supported it. You would think an organization that claims to be directed by Jehovah God would not lie to its own followers and would have some level of integrity, especially when they're telling others to have the same integrity when you're doing your research. But that doesn't apply to them, as you will see.
That's pretty much it.
Now here's a screen capture of the online version. It's identical to the booklet. And it states the Ante-Nicene Fathers were acknowledged to have been leading religious leaders in the early centuries after Christ's birth. What they taught is of interest. So point number one of their advice is to use the official viewpoint. What would be the official viewpoint if you wanted to learn the teachings of the Ante-Nicene Fathers?
What do you think?
Well, I would think the official viewpoint would be the early church fathers' writings themselves. But watch how deceptive the WatchTower is. You'll notice there's no reference points or footnoting, because all those quotes you just saw are referenced in this sentence right here. It's on page 7. Summing up the historical evidence. All right, so summing up all those quotes, that's how they reference it. Where can you find that? Why aren't they footnoted? Why aren't they referenced? Because it's referenced right here. Summing up the historical evidence, Elvin Lamson says in The Church of the First 3 Centuries. All those previous quotes, partial quotes and fractional statements that you saw from the WatchTower, as far as what the early church fathers actually said, this is where they're found. They're summed up in Elvin Lamson's book, The Church of the First 3 Centuries. Now here's a picture of the book, The Church of the First 3 Centuries, Doctrine of the Trinity by Elvin Lamson, D.D., right? But here's how they violated their first point in using the official viewpoint. Elvin Lamson's a liberal Unitarian. They're not quoting the early church. They're not going to the official viewpoint. They're quoting a Unitarian, a liberal Unitarian instead. Okay, now back to the WatchTower article, specifically on page 18, where we arrive at advice point number 2. There is something else you should know when selecting a book. What is the purpose of the writer? All right, remember that. Who is the writer? If a book says a certain industry is being discriminated against by the government, who is the writer? Is he a spokesman for that industry? Important point. Or is he someone more objective in his approach? You can usually find out the motive of the author by consulting the book's preface or foreword. So point number 2, is the writer biased or objective? Well, when you look in the preface, what do you find? This is what you find. You find the reason, purpose, and motive. The present work is republished at the suggestion of many valued friends of the society who have thought that it would prove of service to the cause of Unitarian Christianity. Is this writer putting one industry over another? Is he biased or is he more objective? They failed at their second point. And to wrap it up with the development of our third point, We see on page 19, always be certain you present accurate information. It is wise to verify facts. For instance, if you are doing research on a certain religious organization and you go to books or works that are critical of that organization, you will often find helpful facts, but are they reliable? If you use any of the facts given by critics, verify them by going to the official publications of the organization in which you are interested. In other words, the ante-Nicene Fathers themselves. Get their explanation or viewpoint. Many researchers make glaring mistakes and distort the truth, everybody, by depending on secondhand information, especially that of critics. Why are they going to a liberal Unitarian's viewpoint on the ante-Nicene Fathers' writings instead of going directly to the source themselves? So there you have it, my friends. If you're a Jehovah's Witness out there, and you folks have been calling me, you've been sending PMs, I know you're curious and you're getting some information, and many of you have been a blessing. But look at this, will you? Will you just look at how your organization is deceiving you? You cannot deny the facts. And let me tell you something else. You will be held personally responsible for this. Don't think you're going to slough this off on the WatchTower leadership and just say, well, Jehovah will straighten their act out. No, my friends, you need to leave this organization and you need to come to Christ on a one-to-one, face-to-face basis. They have violated their 3 points. They are hypocritical in the highest order, and you need to get out of Dodge. But Christ is waiting with open arms, my friends. God bless. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.